Hi, everybody. Hope you guys had a good weekend. All right. Sadly, Val Kilmer passed away on April 1st. I didn't find out about it till April 2nd. And I wanted to do as close to a retrospective as possible, but I had only heard about 3 films he was in, so I wanted to learn more. Well, luckily for me, there was a documentary on Amazon called Val, and it talked about his whole life. And so I'm going to do as close timeline as I can. All right. So he was born in 1959, and he had 2 other brothers. And sadly, he lost his one brother, Wesley, at the age his brother was 15. He had epilepsy, and he drowned somewhere, and so he passed away. So that changed his father, Eugene Kilmer, from a fully formed person to a shell of a person, because he held himself responsible for his child's death, which is never right, but that's what happened. Okay, so moving on from that, Val Kilmer started acting in 1983, 1984. He had a small part in Top Gun, the movie with Tom Cruise. Everyone remembers Tom Cruise in the movie, but Val Kilmer was in the movie also. And the idea of him taking bit parts was a reality in his life. So he was only really the leading man twice, maybe 3 times in his life. He starred as Batman in Batman Forever in 1995. And then he also starred in a movie called The Saint in 1994, 1995. Because what happened is he did one movie and then he went directly into the next movie. So that happened too. And then the movie I know him from was At First Sight, which was made in 1999 or 2000. And then I didn't keep up with his career after that. But he was in a lot of movies up until I think 2013 or 14. Really back to back to. So a lot of people would say that he dropped off the map, but that's really not true. He was in a lot of movies. If you want a full list of everything he did, you can go on his IMDb and you'll see everything. But there's no way I can make a video that's not long and talk about every movie he was ever in. So my point was to talk about a lot of stuff, but also highlight, a few roles. So, okay. So then the sad part happens because in 2015, he was diagnosed with throat cancer. And subsequently after that, he had to have a tube in his breathing area. So he could no longer talk the way that most people talk. So I think that was the reason why he kind of quit acting, because he didn't want to be remembered like that. That's what I think. So, yeah. Okay. And so there's a small retrospective on his life, but I'm going to talk about a movie he did in the next video called The Doors. I'm going to go into more detail about that. But I'm going to make a separate video because there's a lot to talk about, in my mind. There's a lot to talk about with that film, so that's what I'm gonna do in the video coming up. Okay, bye everybody.